Hi, this is Helmut with my buddy New, and we are really pleased that you are watching this video. In the today video we are going to Nan. Nan is the capital of the same named province in northern Thailand, and it is about a 700 kilometer north of Bangkok. And Nan is a city or a province which a very interesting historical background, because Nan, I think that the historical background started about 800 years ago, and Nan was used like to be an independent country and tried to fight his independence for a long time, but it was many times occupied like by Burmese people or by Laos or by Northern Thailand in that times before Northern Thailand was called Lan Na and West Thailand. And Nan actually became a part of Thailand in 1931. So not even 100 years ago, Nan became a legal part of Thailand. So it's actually the youngest province in Thailand. And it has, probably because of that it was or tried to be independent, a different culture, in my opinion, to the rest of Thailand. And so today we already started from Chiang Mai going to Nan, and we choose to go by motorbike because it's really an awesome street or way, how you want to call it, through the mountains in northern Thailand. Go from Chiang Mai to Nan. It's really beautiful. Like at the moment now we stopped somewhere on the way in a coffee shop, and I just want to turn the camera around to give you a little bit like a look of the coffee shop. So we are sitting like really in the nature here, and the only thing is, okay, it's like a plastic cup, but it's so lovely sitting here like really in the nature and enjoying a coffee and some tea. It's really nice. Yeah, so that is the topic for this video, and we would really like to explore what is the difference in Nan to the rest of Thailand, or maybe to the rest of northern Thailand. So we see you on the way or in Nan. Nan is not a main destination for holiday like Phuket or Pattaya or Chiang Mai. The most people come to Nan like as a part of a round trip through northern Thailand. Or some people, it's also very famous that they are going from Chiang Mai to Laos to Luang Prabang, and so that they make like a stop here in Nan. Therefore, the most tourists here are younger people like backpackers, but also even families like to make holidays here or like to make a stop here in Nan. I personally know Nan now for more than 10 years. 10 years ago, I have lived here for 8 months, and after I visited Nan like for 7 years, I have visited Nan every 3 or 4 months, so like 3 or 4 times every year. And now we are on a small mountain in front of Nan, so this mountain gives us also a little bit an overview about the small city of Nan. As I know Nan now for more than 10 years and visiting really Nan every 3 to 4 months, like 3-4 times every year, one thing was really always a very big mystery to me, and that was how quickly and rapidly things are changing here in Nan. Like where we are now in this area, 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and I guess even 8 years ago, this area here was like the nightlife area. This area here was crowded with bars. Like here, that looks like a massage salon. There were like all bars and restaurants, not for foreigners. It was especially for Thai people. And when you look around now, you see there are still some restaurants open, but mostly everything is closed. And that is something where I was so fascinated, because even like that, this looks like it looked now, like it looks now. It was like I was here, and like here where it's everything closed, there were like open bars with live music or whatever, and really nice and really funny. And I came here like after 4 months, like there were everything okay. I was out, everything was fine, and I mean it's still everything fine. But then 4 months later I came here and it was like this here. It was like that everywhere. And the thing is that you don't find or you don't see like a visible reason why this happened. Like even at the space in front of us now, there were like a kind of discotheque or bar with live music and open air live music. So it was really, really funny here. And the thing was, it just changed within 4 months without that you actually know why or how. Like normally most of the time when a lot of things are changing in Thailand very quickly and rapidly. But normally if there is some change, it's because they make something new. They will build a shopping mall or something inside there. But here in Nan, many things they are changing and you don't know why. It's not that they make or build something new, it's just they shut it down and it just doesn't exist anymore. And one thing I've nearly forgotten to mention is that in Nan, when you go out, or like when I was out here alone, the only white guy, in Thailand is depends on the area, but in most areas you like so very special, and it feels like a kind of weird sometimes because you're so special. I mean, everywhere where you go alone in a foreign area, in Europe, or it doesn't matter where you are from, you are a little bit special. But you're not that special. And sometimes in Thailand you're so extremely special that's actually quite a little bit awkward sometimes, really. And that never happened here. This was like, okay, it's a foreigner, and I was special because I was a foreigner, but no one was like, oh, pleased to see a foreigner. I mean, some people are, but that was really very nice. I felt like not because you are new, it's not that you belong to them, but kind of you belong to them. I did not feel separated. While sometimes in Thailand, because of your speciality, I don't know how to say it, you feel like you're a little bit separated from the folks actually. And that was not the case here in Nan. I felt really welcome, like they were interested in you, but they were not obsessed with you. So And that is actually still, that is some kind, what I say, the cultural difference between Nan and the rest of Thailand. It's not that they like obsessed with you or with foreigners, like in some areas, like they really like this, so they really like obsessed with a foreigner. But here it's like, they don't even care. It's, yeah, it is a little bit, you're a little bit special, but you are not, they are not obsessed with that. So, and that made me really feel comfortable here in Nan. So that was one thing I really enjoyed here. But some things, some other things, they didn't change. And one of this is this food street here. That is something like 10 years ago it was here, and it hasn't changed like the nightlife scene has changed, but this hasn't changed. And this is also especially in the nighttime. Like on the daytime, they are just starting now actually to preparing their stuff, like the food stores. 2 hours ago, these food stores haven't been here. They are just transportable food stores where they come and build it up every day. And that is going on like on the nighttime. 10 years ago it was like really in the nighttime, like 2 o'clock or something. Also when the people come from the discotheque, you could buy some food here. But I think nowadays like because of the corona pandemic, mostly they will close like I think at 10 or 11 o'clock. Last time 11 o'clock there was just over there some restaurant open. The normal food stores are gone like at 11 o'clock. And this also happened to the other side. Like you see, some they haven't opened yet. They are going to open now until probably 10 or 11 p.m. So some things are changing rapidly, but also some things they are still the same like 10 years ago. And of course, not to forget is to mention about the accommodation here in Nan. You have everything here. You have really like from low cost or low class hostels to really high class or high cost hotels. And I want to show you our accommodation here, how we stay, and I really prefer that style. It's up to everyone. If you feel comfortable in a high class hotel, it's okay. If you feel comfortable in a hostel, it's okay. But that is how I like to stay actually in Thailand, and I will show you this a little bit around here. So that is like our accommodation looks like from the outside, and that is in my opinion a really typical Thai accommodation, like that what you see here in front of us. That's like a little like a cooking corner, where you like get like a toaster, some oven, a microwave, and you have cold and hot water. Hot water if you want to drink a coffee or whatever. You get some jam and some marmalade here. You get your glasses and your cups here, your dish, and you always have all the time like toast and some 4 different styles of cookies. It's not much, but it's like lovely if you sit here. Like I want to show you here around. It's quite nice. You have a little bit flowers and bushes in the front and some tables, so it's quite nice quite lovely, quite cozy here. And now we go to have a look how the room looks like. In Thailand is actually really quite common also maybe to mention that you have to put out your shoes before you go inside the room. So my buddy New is preparing to going out. So that is how the room looks like. And it's quite a nice room in my opinion. Maybe I should mention how much we pay for that. We pay for that 400 baht, which is equivalent to probably $13 US. And in Europe you wouldn't get an accommodation like this probably for $13. So we have actually like a double bed. It's actually like that 3 people can sleep here, but I don't know, maybe if a third one come in, he would charge probably a little bit extra. I don't know, like for 2 people, this room is like for 2 people and you pay 400 baht. And it's nice. You still also have a sofa, some cupboard. Okay, the TV, it's not, for me that is not the most important thing to have a TV to say. But it's nice to have, or everywhere you will go, you will have it. And here's like also nice to work a little bit. You see like my computer here. You got an air condition. So in my opinion, the room is quite big. Sometimes you have really just 3 meter and 3, I also see it, not sometimes, I have seen it, that you just got 3 meter, and I feel like I'm in jail. Can I go in the bathroom now, actually? Okay, so I come now. Oh, it's closed. So, and now we go to have a look. The bathroom, I mean, it's just like a standard bathroom, but you have hot water, a toilet, and a shower here. So it's quite fine. And it's always nice if you have a nice buddy to travel with. So that is how the accommodation here looks like for 400 baht, like equivalent to $13. At this time it can change in 1 year or however. And that is actually like, I would say like a little bit typical for Nan, like about this price range. Maybe you pay 500 baht sometime for like the same kind of room, or it can be a little bit different, but it would not be too much in my opinion. So just to give you a little overview about accommodation here in Nan, like really high class hotels here in Nan, the best I've ever been here was, I think 3,500, like a good $100, but that was really like you feel like you have two private servants which just take care of you all day long. Like it's in the city, and it's like classical Thai style. It's a wooden house, like the hotel is a wooden house, and that was actually the most expensive I've seen here. So probably that's even not like I said, like high price hotels. It's probably like for Europe, you would say, if you get this in Europe, you would pay far more than $500 for the night. And here it's like $100. So it's compared to the most parts of the world, I guess it's quite cheap here. So, and now let's go and see what else we can explore in Nan here. Nan is also well known for its famous and popular dragon boat racing. Here on the Nan River. In Thai, it's called the Me Nam Nan. Me Nam means actually river. And this dragon boat racing is usually a festival about 3 days or 5 days. I'm not really sure now, which is in September. Now we are here in a lovely coffee shop, and what the coffee shop makes so lovely also is like this roof. It's like a roof of a typical Thai style house, like a wooden roof, and it makes like to sit here really, it makes it something special. It's really beautiful to enjoy it here. Before I start talking, I actually want to show a little bit around this coffee shop because it looks very cute, and that is one thing, in my opinion, also very typical about Nan. Like, it's not just a coffee shop. The coffee shop itself, it's stylish and nice made, but it's also like a little bit like a small museum with some handcraft and some tools that people are using here, especially the hill tribe people, I guess. Okay, this is probably not the biggest hill tribe style to have a gun. It's probably more this one here. And you see, like, I like stuff like this. It's like how they make their arrows. The feather, actually this is called the feather. It's actually made from bamboo also. So this arrow is completely made from bamboo. And that is some cooking facility, how they cook here, or cooked here. So that, I mean, why this is a little bit special here in Nan. First of all, it's, I just put the camera down. My buddy New is eating here, so it's not only a coffee shop. We have panang. That is called panang. It's a curry. And what I want to say, it's about, that is this special thing with the coffee shops here. Like 10 years ago, when I was in Thailand and I was in some other areas, in Chiang Mai they had it, but for tourists. In some other areas you had, like, in the surrounding of 50 kilometers, probably one coffee shop. And this was very different here in Nan. What I mean with the coffee shop, like a comfortable coffee shop. You have some coffee sometime on the street somewhere, but you not get the fresh coffee. There's many times just an instant coffee and that stuff. So, and 10 years ago it was very because Thai people, they actually don't drink coffee. That is not their beverage in some case. If you go to Northeast Thailand or to Middle Thailand, or I don't know South Thailand too much, but Northeast, North Thailand and Middle Thailand, actually, if you go somewhere, in most areas, the Thai people, you will not see them drinking coffee. Some they do, but it's very rare. And in Nan here, when I came here, there were really like a coffee house culture. I'm from Austria, and in Vienna is known all over the world about his coffee house culture. And it seemed a little bit same like in Nan, even there were like shops, they were like styled like, you know, from Austria, a coffee house. Like this is not like in Austria looks like, but you know the effort they put inside the coffee shops. And they are not for tourists, that for Thai people. Like they have tourism here, but the tourism is very little actually. And so they are not made like if you go like in Bangkok or in Phuket or in Chiang Mai. Actually, the coffee shops, they were made for foreigners. But here, not. And that made it so special that here the Thai people went to the coffee shop to enjoy the coffee. And that is what I said, like they are really different in their culture or in their behavior or in their attitude, in my opinion, to the rest of Thailand. Because I've never seen that in any other province than here in Nan. Even like especially stick with the coffee, like they grow in North Thailand, especially most I think in Chiang Rai, but also here in Nan, in Chiang Mai and Mae Hong Son, that are I think the main areas where they grew coffee in the mountains. They grew it in other areas also, but they are really known for their coffee. And like these small coffee shops, they had their local grown coffee, and in Thai you say krua, roasted coffee. In Thai you call it krua. So they roasted like coffee shops, even like one coffee shop was like he had his own roastery inside the coffee shop. So that made it to me very special. Of course it's not where you say you want to make holidays there, just want to explore a little bit the difference between Nan and the rest. And that was one thing for me. Yeah, it's like kind of cute if you come somewhere and you see one province out of 70 provinces where you think that's quite different. And like I'm more than over 10 years in Thailand now, and I've traveled to more than I guess to about 40 of the they have about 70 provinces, and I've traveled to about 40 of them. And you see one where you see that's really apart in some culture behavior to the other ones. And the next thing was like here in Nan, because there is so just few tourists here. About the foreigners, when you go to Thailand, you will see a lot of foreigners, and the foreigners quite the same, especially in Northeast Thailand. In my opinion, it maybe sound rude. It doesn't matter to which province you go in Isan, in Northeast Thailand, the foreigners all the same. Of course there are exceptions, but in my opinion it was like, I have been there a long time, and like the typical foreigner has his girlfriend out of a bar from Pattaya or from Bangkok or from Phuket or somewhere, and whatever. That's like, and everyone think he has the pretty woman story. I think you know probably the movie The Pretty Woman with Julia Rogers. Everyone think about that, and that was completely different in Nan. The foreigners were completely different. 10 years ago, I didn't know anyone who had his girlfriend or his wife out of a bar. They had just normal jobs, working normal things, and having their own shop. It was really different, and the foreigner community was quite nice. And that actually, why I said it changed so many things, that changed in some way. You had here, like even like the coffee shops, foreign restaurants, like run by foreigners, and their main customers were not foreigners like you have it in Chiang Mai. If a foreigner is running a restaurant, actually he would have his customer would be foreigners. But here it was different. They had mainly Thai people. Like they were so curious about, let's go to the foreign restaurant and have a nice meal and try the pizza or whatever, some Western food. While, like even I mentioned, like Northeast Thailand or many other parts of Thailand, the Thai people actually like, I don't know that food, I don't even want to try it. It's like in Austria, we say, what the farmer not knows, he will not eat. So, and it seems to me like very similar to the Thai people, except here in Nan. Like they were curious about all that stuff. And that was one thing really fascinating, but also a lot of things changed. So all the foreign restaurants like 10 years ago, or still 5 years ago where they were open, they are closed now. And I don't find actually a foreign community. Maybe there is someone, but that also changed a little bit. So that is my impression of Nan, and that is why I think if you're going, like I said, it will not be probably the main destination, but if you're going like to Chiang Rai or Chiang Mai, like having a round trip around Northern Thailand, it's worth to come here for a couple of days and just to look around. How is the different, maybe on holiday you'll not really feel the difference, but maybe also it's kind of a cute little town here. Yeah, so do you have to add something else?
What? อะไรนะ
So my buddy New, she is from Middle Thailand. She is not here from Northern Thailand. Northern Thailand have also a different language, the Northern Thailand language, but Nan even have a very special language also. Maybe because they were occupied by Burmese and Laos people, so it's very similar to Laos. And what is also to mention, I nearly have forgotten it, is because it's in the middle of mountains here, so they have a lot of, and I guess this shop here is also run by hill tribes, because like that stuff what you see, that looks like the tools for hill tribes. So you have a lot of different hill tribes here. Even Nan was very famous. There was the first book even written by an Austrian, The Ghost of the Yellow Leaves. They were one of the last free living people. They called in Thai Pi Thong Luang, what means like Pi means ghost, Thong mean the leaf of the banana bushes or banana trees, and Luang mean yellow, and that's and they are called for that because they didn't have houses. They were like hill tribes, just nomads going around. When they were hungry, they were eating. When they were feeling to make love, they made love, and when they were tired, they just slept. So they really did. They had a life like a human should have, in my opinion. Without money, everything was free in the nature. The food was free, everything was there. They didn't wear until 20 years ago, they didn't even wear clothes. They were naked here in the jungle. And this was one of the last free living people, free living tribes. Nowadays, they are not free anymore. They were catched like 15 years ago, I think, by the government, because they think we do not want that Thailand looks like underdeveloped. In my opinion, it's the opposite. In my opinion, if you let people live like that, that would show you more developed, in my opinion. But so just want to say that they had a lot, or still have a lot of hill tribes here around in the mountains, and that also is a different probably culture. I mean, they're not happy to mix up. We have to be honest, it's not that they just say, oh, you're from another tribe, okay, let's marry. It's a little bit like, that's another tribe and that's another, and that are even Thai people. So they not mix up so happily together, or how you want to say it. But there's still, I think, how you can feel a difference of the culture. And of course, in Chiang Rai and Chiang Mai, and especially Mae Hong Son, there are also provinces here of Northern Thailand. They also have a lot of hill tribes. And the hill tribe people, they look a little bit like reserved or cold. So they're not so open-hearted, like, oh, hey, hi, yes. They're a little bit like, oh, it's not me. Maybe it's an enemy or something like that. So it's not that they are rude or something in any way. It's just seems a little, it's different from the typical Thai culture. Let's put it in that way. So that is Nan. Enjoy it. If you go on a trip, I would recommend come here for a couple of days and just enjoy it how you should do it at the holidays. And I hope we see each other in the next video. So have a nice day. So long. You want to say bye bye also?
Why I have nothing to talk?
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. See you in the next video, and I wish you all the best.